2016 is a unique budget year for the district because in 2016 the district is considering what to do about asset management. The purpose of this video message is to invite you to join the conversation around asset management in West Vancouver and how it may affect the district's budget going forward. The District of West Vancouver provides a very high level of service to residents and to visitors to this beautiful community. To keep doing that and to avoid compromising service to future generations, we need to manage our assets strategically with a long-term financial plan, but our current financial approach does not do that. Like municipalities across Canada, the District of West Vancouver faces a funding gap for asset management. Information on which to base a successful long-term financial plan to fill that gap is already in place, and now we need effective asset management funding. I believe the 2016 district budget is the time to start moving asset management forward. If we fail to maintain the district's assets now, we could lose some of the services that we enjoy and that we want our children to enjoy. The challenges faced by our assets in years to come will not be met. Compared to cities of the same size and population, West Vancouver is rich in assets, with 2 fairly new recreation centers, unique assets like the Seawalk, as well as piers, numerous parks, sports fields, playgrounds, and other assets. Over the next 50 years, the majority of these assets will need to be replaced. But even before we think about replacing them, our assets will require capital investment during their lifetimes if they are not to seriously deteriorate. We understand the importance of maintenance for things like our cars. We know that if we do not do the regularly scheduled maintenance, the car will not perform at its best or last as long as it could. We understand that we have to maintain our houses and that it's best, for instance, not to wait to replace the roof until it begins to leak and the structure is damaged. Investing in municipal assets at the optimum point is the same. It avoids more costly maintenance and therefore provides the best value for money and keeps service levels to residents and visitors high. The district has spent 2 years identifying, categorizing, and assessing the condition of every asset that we own. The total value of our assets is over $1 billion. Maintaining these assets properly will cost $300 million over the next 20 years, an average of $13.9 million annually for 20 years. Our proposed solution is to create a long-term asset management strategy in 3 steps. First, set up a system of asset reserves. These reserves provide the flexibility to invest in municipal assets strategically, with full accountability to district taxpayers. These are not deep pools of money that grow in perpetuity. They are active reserves that are used each year to maintain the assets. The reserves cannot function without funding, so the second step is to set up a system of funding the reserves through an asset levy. And the third step is to build up the asset levy until it reaches the required level of investment, which is $13.9 million. There are choices on how to do this. Other Canadian municipalities dealing with the infrastructure gap problem have built asset levies of between 15% to 20% of tax levels over many years, starting in some cases in the 1990s. The District of West Vancouver has some catching up to do. So, for the District of West Vancouver, we've developed 4 options: a 1-year, 4-year, 7-year, or a 10-year phased levy. Each of these options has pros and cons. You can find details on these options, including their annual cost to the average West Vancouver homeowner and the cost of doing nothing at all to address this problem, at westvancouver.ca.